For me, I've been massive on the whole brand, integrating brand, because at the end of the day, it's the business reputation and the brand, even down to the directors, you know, and understanding how their customers search and what they search, what they're looking at, all these different things connects. For me, it always has done, but there are certain SEOs that would say, well, brand has no impact on organic growth. But for me, I believe it does. What do you think?
Here's the thing. Like, I did try to prove it at some point with a correlation study with a team, but we didn't have enough data to prove it. But and it would still be a correlation. But here's what I would say. It's not about what do we mean by impact, right? Like, at the end of the day, there are so many assumptions about how important is it for your brand to be searched for Google to then rank you. And this is still an assumption, like neither me nor you nor the other SEOs work at Google, understand or know what's in the algorithm. So again, then it's just personal opinions. I'm starting from a more people perspective, which is like companies, products, services are there to cover a need, right? And the audiences, people are there to find the right service and product for their needs. So to think that marketing works in isolation, like one channel works in isolation from another, just cripples the compound effect that those working together could have, right? And sometimes the synergies are just so simple. Like you can have, I'm going to use a very daft example. I didn't say the bad word. I'm going to use a very daft example, but just to demonstrate what I mean. You can have like this top funnel content, right? But then to expect that people will convert straight away is kind of like not the case most of the time. But how you connect this content to product content on your website, right? Or things that are relevant, information about your brand, the trust signals in there, like case studies or testimonials from your clients. This ties into how people build brand recollection and brand affinity. It doesn't have to do with just like, okay, they found a piece of content on Google and then they read about it. And if they want, they can read some more somewhere else or not. It has to do with how do you bring your brand in front of mind with every single touch point. So I'm very dubious about, when people say, well, brand on brand is a very different thing. It's not. It's all part of marketing for the same company, the same product. So it shouldn't be. Or how you convert them. Like one of the things I was precious. I'm not precious about many things, but I was precious about that. It was like when we got to a stage with our SEO strategy at Semrush, right? And it was a case of how do we grow? Part of what I wanted to do really was CRO. It's like, it's not just about how do we get people through? It's like, what do we do with the people that come on our website? What then? What happens then? And I cannot share much, but I can say that it was totally worth it. So this is what I mean by people not over focusing. I do know how it tends to get sometimes, and it's also part of how different teams get budgets, right? So naturally, everyone wants to be able to report on outcomes of their specific line of work and channel. But on the other hand, like a simple test would be launch a campaign or a strategy somewhere, and then keep adding on channels and collaborations with other channels and teams, and then see what that does. Because that would be a great way to vet for yourself as well, which channels are the most lucrative, but also where you should be looking at way more than just one channel.